So welcome back to my channel. This is Dom. Shout out to Tim at Broken Dice for tagging me in this round robin that seems to be going on at the moment of everybody tagging everybody else in the community to give them 3 other hobbies other than wargaming or modelling that they get involved in. So this is my attempt. So 3 things about me. I mean, it was interesting doing this because sort of things, what's a hobby and what's just an interest and what you love doing, and so I'm just nailing it down to just 3 things that I really do on a regular basis and would call a hobby. It's actually quite challenging, which is weird. So first up, the first thing I think I'm going to list around is history. That's a big thing, right? History. So history is a passion of mine. I have always been fascinated by it in all its shapes and forms. I'm not just talking about military history, so I think that crosses over into the modelling wargaming arena, and that certainly excites me and interests me, always has done. But also just broadly history generally, and particularly ancient history. A fascination. I always wish I had been an archaeologist. I'd wish I'd done that, digging around into civilizations and why they came about and why they did what they did. But I never did. I did do a history degree back in the day, many moons ago, then went into public relations, so that was really useful. But yeah, I did a history degree and I was always fascinated by history, still am. So I'm the sort of person that I think one of the other contributors talked about going to National Trust houses and English heritage houses. Yeah, I'm a card-carrying member of the National Trust. Me and my wife love nothing better than to head out to a ancient monument or to an old house and have a look around, and I absolutely love that sort of thing. Similarly, museums of all descriptions, all shapes and sizes, I will go into and absolutely love them. Not just into the military bits, but also general, I say particularly the ancient stuff. Books, loads of books. I've got a couple here that I'm just got up and go. Oops, excuse me, reaching down below my desk. So I'm reading this one at the moment. I don't know if you can see this one. It's called Sea Power States by Andrew Lambert. Thoroughly recommend this. This talks about what caused various sea powers, so 5 sea powers, to turn into superpowers of sea power. So they talk about Athens, Carthage, Venice, the Dutch Republic and Great Britain. And it's a fascinating book about what is the difference between a true sea power and a power that has ships and maritime history. So a really interesting book, and I found about this on another passion of mine in terms of history, as I listened to a podcast by Dan Snow. He does a series of history podcasts. He also has a history TV channel on the web, and he talks to really interesting historical authors, researchers, and does all sorts of historical programs, which is fantastic. And I found out about this book in talking to the author of the book on one of his podcasts. There's another book I picked up fairly recently, actually no, it's probably a few months ago now, at British Museum, which is one of my favourite places in the world to go to. Looking at this, is called The Middle East, the Cradle of Civilization. I think when I picked it up, they were doing they were doing a special exhibition on the Assanids, and it was just fantastic. Really enjoyed that. Picked up this book, and it's just got sort of details on some of those early civilizations that, unless you're a complete history geek, you would never have heard of. Really interesting. So books, TV series, museums, archaeological sites, you name it. That's one of my true passions in life. So that's number 1. So quick change for number 2. So I did think long and hard about showing this one off because it's such a nerdy thing, but hey, people did ask what's my hobbies. So, and I don't think I'm old enough really, but my second real interest, I love all sports, always have done, absolutely adore sport. I played loads of sports. I played cricket, rugby, hockey, I used to swim. I still swim a lot. I swim at least a couple of times a week. I need to do more to get fitter. Used to work out in the gym a lot. All sorts of things. The only thing I didn't really like much was the running for the sheer hell of it. But any other sport, I loved it. I'm not particularly brilliant at any of them. I was pretty reasonable at most, without being fantastic, if you see what I mean. But as I got older and the arthritis in my fingers, so I have terrible arthritis in my fingers, legacy of being a journalist many years ago, typing on old keyboards, in fact old typewriters, that's how old it was. And now I drive a computer the whole time, so the keyboard's just destroyed my fingers. So I find it really difficult to play things like golf anymore, tennis, because I just can't grip the rackets or the clubs as well as I used to, and I don't feel I've got the control anymore. So I was looking for something else to do rather than just watch, and my wife's been nagging me about we never do anything together. So we decided to take up bowling. So this isn't the exciting one where you go down the bowling alley and you roll it down and knock all the 10-pin bowling. This is green grass bowling. What do they call it? I don't know what they call it. Outdoor bowling, using a ball like this. So this is my Windlesham Bowling Club vest shirt, because I'm a member of a local club where I live in Windlesham, yeah, I go bowling during the summer. There is an indoor bowling, but I haven't really had the time to do that yet. Maybe when I'm a bit older, I might, and retired, I might take that up too. But I play bowls 2 or 3 times a week in the summer. That's the ideal. I think this year I've only played twice. I've only been bowling for a couple of years, but I really enjoy it, and it's an interesting strategic type game. You have to think about tactics. I enjoy the competitive nature. I play in a couple of leagues against other clubs, and that's fun as well. The only negative with it, it's an old man's sport, an old lady's sport. Everyone's about 100 years old who bowls it. I feel like a young man when I go down the bowling club. They're all retired. Shocking. I'm sorry to any bowlers out there, but it's just, and also it gets really arsey and anal about the whole tradition stuff, which I just gets on my wig, frankly. But that said, it's great fun. I love the tactics of it. It doesn't seem to matter. My fingers can handle rolling a ball like this quite easily, and it's good fun. So that's number 2. So number 3, I can't even do that. Number 3. So shout out to Wargaming with Gary. So my third passion. I talked about the fact I love sports. I do love all sports, apart from probably football, soccer for you Americans. I used to like football, but it's just so money orientated and so depressingly tribal. I hate it now with a passion. So I don't really watch. That said, I'm very true blue Englishman and true white Englishman. Yeah, you know what I mean. White as in the white flag. So I love watching England play anything. So I'll watch England football, but I don't really watch anything else in terms of football. It depresses me. The tribal, horrible stuff that goes on in football. But rugby is a real passion, always has been. I used to play it, I loved it. I was not particularly brilliant playing, but I really enjoyed it, and it was okay. I played in the scrum. Bizarrely, when I did my cartilages, I was moved out to fullback, I think because I was the only person who was prepared to smack somebody in the tackle, and I was actually reasonably quick in a short burst, but there was no way I was going to run the length of a pitch, and I could thump a ball a long way with my right foot. So I played, I think I must be the only player to have played hooker, flanker and fullback in rugby. It was a combination and a half. So too old for that now, too unfit, and joints ache too much. But I still love rugby. It's a passion. I absolutely love rugby. I'm wearing a Harlequin shirt. Thank you shout out to Gary at Wargames with Gary. I know he's a season ticket holder at Harlequins. I'm not a season ticket holder. I haven't had the time to go to every single game, but it's definitely on my list when I have a bit more time on my hands once the kids are out of my hair and what have you. But definitely rugby of all descriptions is my passion. So yeah, another change. This is an England rugby training top, because England rugby is definitely one of my absolute delights in life. I will watch England rugby, have done all my life, and will continue to do to the rest of my life. This summer is the Rugby World Cup coming. Really exciting, really looking forward to it. Who knows how England will do? Not sure how anyone will do this time around. It's probably one of the most open World Cups I can remember, so looking forward to that immensely. But yeah, rugby generally, I sort of follow Harlequins of all clubs, but rugby is a sport where I can sit and watch any team play and love watching it. I can barely think of any rugby game I've seen where I can't take something positive out of it, where I actually didn't enjoy it. I love it, love it, love it, love it. I can watch it all day long, every day. And so yeah, rugby is definitely number one in terms of my hobbies and my interests. And you know, kind of other sports get up there. You know, I love the NFL, love American football, Chicago Bears. Yeah. Shouldn't say that. But I think because it's a similar kind of heavy contact sport, which I really enjoy rugby for. And so yeah, that's number 3 from me. So I guess it's my turn now to nominate a few people. So the idea is I nominate 3 people. It's difficult because trying to work out who's been nominated and who hasn't. There's been a lot of people nominated so far. So the 3 I'm going to go with are, and I don't know his real name, but his channel is Harcus Mont. Harcus Mont. I will put his channel in the description. He does fantastic. He should have many more subscribers than he does. Does a channel on Saga. That's what he focuses on. So if you like Saga and tabletop gaming with Saga and painting of those sort of figures, he does both the historic version and also the magic version. Really good channel. Thoroughly recommend. The other one I'm going to pick on, Tabletop Wolf. I don't think he's been nominated so far. Very active, does a lot of bolt action and fantasy stuff. I mainly watch for the bolt action, I have to say, but lots of other good stuff he has on his channel, so you're tagged too. And number 3, I'll tell you who I'm going to go with. I'm going to go with Gary from Paint and Glue. Paint and Glue. Gary does 3D printing. I've featured a couple of his 3D printing tanks on my channel in the early days. He also has a hobby channel to talk about his general wargaming interests and what have you. Thoroughly recommend you check out both his 3D models and his channel. Really good stuff. So Gary, you're it as well. So while I've got you all here in the man cave, this is my study, where I ostensibly work, but also where I plan my next campaigns and figures purchases and everything else. And it's become a stock room really for all my figures. So I thought, well, I'll give you a quick once around while I'm in here. So excuse the mess because it really is getting a bit out of hand. So let me just turn around. Ooh. So here we got, this is one cabinet full of German bolt action figures. Oh my lordy, this collection has grown to a ridiculous level. At the bottom, Japanese bolt action figures. And here, selection of books that are in the process of being read, or not read, but all waiting to go. Don't know how bright this all is. Another cabinet that's being filled up. Top there is some French. Don't tell anyone I've got French Napoleonics. I hate the French. Napoleonics, I mean. There's a whole load of barbaric troops. There's the burgeoning Russian bolt-action army coming together there. Some infantry on the next shelf. Some of the reconditioned ancient figures I've got here that I've been working my way through. This is my Saga collection, historical and fantasy. So you can see them all there. See if I can show another cabinet down here. Bought these cabinets in Lidl. They're fantastic. It's a bit dark to see all this, but there's a Napoleonics all here. Some of my, that was my SPQR failed project there, and some of the reconditioned Napoleonics, reconditioned ancient figures I'm working on rebasing. Down here, oh, what's this? Oh, start of my Confederate 28mm army, and one of the many 15mm Napoleonic armies I've got. I think that's the Austrians. I've got British, I've got Prussians, which are all stored in boxes away. So yeah, that's part of the burgeoning mountain. I'm talking about mountains. Someone was showing off their stash. This is my part of my stash. Yeah. This is more American Civil War stuff. Pick these up at a bring and buy. So that's going to be added to. There's some more Celtic warriors down there. This is my Rush. Oh, there's some English Civil War figures again I picked up at a bring and buy show. At the back there is a whole load of Russians. This is part of the Russian army I'm building out. Some Mongols, because I love Mongols. And behind there still is just more boxes of painted figures ready to go. So yeah, lots and lots and lots. And around this wall, some of the many other books and rule systems. There's all the bolt action stuff. So there you go. There's my stash. So there you go. That's my tagged video, bit about myself in terms of the other hobbies I have. Hope you found it interesting and not too off-putting. Also a quick look at my den and all my stash of figures, which is just ridiculous now. And that's not counting all the figures that are out in the in my garage, all in other boxes, and there's some up in the loft as well that I've stored away for more long-term storage. But yeah, it's getting a bit crazy around here. Don't tell the wife. Anyway, hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. And you guys I've tagged, I hope to see what you have to say about yourself. And thanks for watching. It's Gamer Dom. Actually, I keep saying Gamer Dom. Gamer Dom's a legacy from when I was doing lots of online gaming, computer gaming. I had a computer game channel and I called myself Gamer Dom, and that I am Gamer Dom. I'm just Dom to you guys. So this is Dom signing out. Thanks. Cheers.